Hey, yo, where Nick at? Back there in the cut.
Self-love, that's the most important thing. I can't love somebody unless I love myself first.
9 in 3 days?
I had to train for Kazumi. Or like I'm a grown-ass man. Like, come on, bro.
When you're internally fulfilled, you're not chasing nothing externally.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's an honor that we made it happen.
The Last Supper?
Nah, don't call it that. I mean, some things might have happened along the way, but you know what I'm saying? And we do have one plate for the fans.
We got a plate for the fans?
Yes, sir. For
now,
you guys.
Is the fan a female or a guy?
It's whatever it wants to be.
It's cold food.
Just listen.
They can hear it.
They can hear it on the mic.
Oh, they can hear it.
Appreciate you guys doing this, man.
Oh, yeah.
I've been waiting for
We
this.
have nothing else to do.
Ooh, we did.
Give the people a little bit of backstory of why we're here right now. Because we got flaked on by 12.
Yeah, you guys will see in the behind the scenes video, but me personally, I think the video is still gonna happen. So we're actually in this Airbnb. We were trying to do this date video, but 2 pairs, well, hopefully not the third, they've just flaked on us. So now we're just waiting around, trying to find more.
I need more to come find me.
This your first mukbang? You've done this before?
I think this is my first mukbang.
Yeah, this is my first.
It's my first mukbang.
This is all of our first?
Yep. We'll be. Oh well, we got another one for you right here.
Oh, okay, appreciate it.
You should let me know ahead of time. I like pork better.
Oh, okay.
It's all good. It would have been nice if you let me know everything that we're eating right now because I'm allergic to certain.
Yeah, ain't the mukbang you supposed to break down what is
Oh
going
yeah.
on?
Let me break. I mean, really, it's just you got beef, chicken.
You should do visuals of the food on some production type.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying with your expensive ass cameras.
So this is the chicken. Oh, boom, 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 boom. Before we start diving in, but we already done dived in. So
I've never had some of this stuff before, because usually I just eat like Wendy's.
That's your go-to.
It's all I could really afford. How did you guys never let business kill the fun? Because we've talked about all the time. People can have 1 million, 2 million subscribers, and then they'll just quit because of all the. Even me, like I wanted to quit last year.
you in the clip?
Yeah. There's just all the stuff going on and dealing with like this person, that person. It was like, it just became not about the videos anymore. I turned into a diplomat and booking agent and politicking and it's like
Politician.
and it's like, you know what I mean? Like I'm here to make videos, not
I think
not talk to your manager and then manager's manager and talk to this person and suck this person. Like, bro, I'm here with the camera, I film, I edit, and I make fire videos. I don't do all that extra. Like, that's just not me. And you guys are in a probably 3x scale. So how did you never let the business get so much in the way that it became unfun? Because
Well, it goes back to when Jay was saying as far as when he's talking about the integrity and shit like that. But I really think it just boils down to what do you value the most. If you value money a lot, you'll do crazy shit for money. It just comes down to desire. The more you want money, you'll do anything for money. You'll kill people for money. You'll betray your friends for money. You'll put your ass on the internet for money. But it all boils down to your desire for that thing. The more you desire, you'll do anything for the. So when you don't have it goes back to the cup is full. There's not a desire for the external things. And it just comes down to what is it that you do value. With the videos, like you mentioned, it's like we just valued making videos we enjoy making. More than the money, more than the clout, more than the fame. So when you have that type of mentality, that would never get in the way because you value this more. So if it ever got a point where, we're shooting certain videos because we think it's going to blow more than but it's not a video we really enjoy making, then we just wouldn't make it. Because it's more so about doing something that you enjoy. It just depends on what you value. So for us, we valued kind of like what you said, just making a video that we with.
yeah,
And ideally, it'll blow. Ideally, it'll make money. Ideally, our fan base will grow. Ideally, the people will like it. But ultimately, that's what we value the most. Oftentimes, once the money starts coming in, and a lot of times people, they value, nowadays, just do this for the money. Like, this is where the money's at. But it just depends on what you value. If you value the money a lot, you're going to do whatever makes the most money. Okay, let's post the most. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's get a video out. Money, money, money. What's the most viral video right now. Let's do the trendy videos.
And then, you know, one thing, it
It's
goes
like,
back
what do you
to,
value the most?
you tell me all the time. One of the first things you told me is like, when you're starving, you'll eat out of the trash.
Yeah, you do anything. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it just, ultimately, it's like, what do you value?
Growing up, your family used to do a lot of like family, like you know how like we're all sitting at a dinner table eating.
We did kind of, but not that much.
When you got older, they stopped.
So, the first question I wanted to ask, a lot of people don't know the real you guys. You know how you were telling me yesterday, people might think like, oh, all they do is they try to get it, this and that, da-da-da. But people, they don't know about the game that you guys have just on life. So, but one thing I wanted to ask though, why does it take so long for you guys to drop videos?
It should just take time.
You understand, you feel me? If they want to see more of us, they can go on that Patreon.
Because we doing it on a weekly basis.
If you want to see more of us, go on that Patreon, man.
So like if you really want to see the minorities, it's on that Patreon. We dropping weekly content. Podcast weekly, we doing a whole bunch of extra shit. So it's there. Is it YouTube worthy to help you feel me grow the channel? You feel me? Everything we do is high quality.
Indeed.
But when it comes to that YouTube, it's got high standards.
But really, it's just you two, like there's no team. And I feel like people don't know that. Because you guys are a big channel, most big channels have teams, like we were talking about yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we are just a two-man team.
You're just a one-man team. I mean, you record whoever you're recording, but for the most part, you're just all one man.
You plan on eventually having like a team of people?
I mean, I never wanted to until it became urgent and literally impossible because I'm only one person, so I can't be two places at one time. It became urgent when I wanted to drop a video a week, but I'm filming every day with no time to edit because, you know, doing documentaries, it's filming literally from when you wake up to 8, 9 o'clock at night. Sometimes if I'm with you guys, we might go on a mission to the other side of the state, 2-hour drive. We might not get back till 2 a.m. And then we have to wake up early because we have to go film here at 9 a.m. So that's when I was like, dang, I do need an editor because there's only so many hours in a day. And I would love to film every day.
I feel like most people probably don't know you.
That's true.
I told you, I thought you were light skinned. I thought you were Jared.
I did too. I thought you were Jared. I thought Jared was Nick.
Yeah, I thought that was Nick. So there's probably a lot of things about you, your fan base will be curious about, like your favorite type of videos to create, whether it be football, basketball, some of your favorite collabs you have, the lifestyle of like where do you sleep, how often do you travel?
Like some of them, but
You don't think most of them is? You think they're just more interested in the other people you're doing?
yeah, being real, I feel like they don't really give a they just want to see the docs. But one thing I would say is I probably am stepping away, you know, from just like the high school basketball scene moving forward.
You're getting into multiple avenues now.
Yeah, I've been in multiple avenues, but instead of being primarily the high school basketball, I want to be primarily diversified, if that makes sense.
When you were younger, did you think that like one day, oh, I'm gonna be traveling the world, doing videos and like stars? That's basically what you're doing.
No, I would have never imagined this. And I remember like when I first saw your guys' video, I didn't even realize it was like a Minorities video, if that makes sense. I thought I was just watching a Tinder tutorial. My friend showed me.
That was your first video?
For the Tinder tutorial.
A lot of people with that Tinder video. Truthfully, I never liked that video.
Really?
I just didn't like the quality of it, like as far as it was bad lighting. That very first Tinder 101, and it wasn't super creative. It was just like us sitting there.
Yeah.
So it wasn't one of my favorites, but it always blew up because you know that video got taken down, reposted.
It's done multiple millions.
It's done multiple plaques. It's went viral on Twitter. It went viral on YouTube twice. That video, a lot of people with it, but yeah, it's interesting that a lot of times videos you don't think are gonna blow are the ones that end up blowing. Or like our biggest video, Betting Strangers, we weren't gonna post that.
Yeah, I remember you telling me.
This is crazy. We literally.
That's happened to me a couple of times too, even like is posting certain games. Like a highlight game will get more views than the doc that I put a lot of time in.
Yeah.
But I mean, long story short, I'm kind of just stepping away from the high school basketball scene more just because of the headaches. But I mean, you give me a lot of advice on.
Do you want to do like college type or just whole separate type of content?
No, I'm still gonna do docs, but I just want to do more, maybe vlogs on myself and
Personality based, docs.
and just more different types of videos. But yeah, all different types of docs. It's just a thing that people don't know is, the high school basketball scene. You kind of have to suck a lot of to. I'm sorry. I'm gonna leave it out. But it's like I have to say that phrase so people know, like, that's. I have to say, like, this is. People probably don't even know what I look like, but this is me. Like, this is the real. Like, another thing I wanted to clear up, going back to that side note, is like all that, like, oh, Nick this, Nick that, like, oh, he's finally getting bitches. Like, fuck, I've been getting bitches. like they had me up. And Zeb, he didn't put in the video because the speed of the video, but there's a scene where he shot at me where I'm really just going off before he left the bay. But really, it's just me being irritated because people were just disrespecting my pimping.
Right.
It's being real, like I know you guys. Maybe if you've met me and I've been like a little shy. To be honest,
all-star numbers and they don't realize it.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to brag. Like, I'm not out here getting like knocking 10s all the time.
Right, it's like G League. It's not the NBA. It's
Yeah,
G League,
yeah.
But you still put up 40.
Yeah, and it's just like everyone's saying like I don't get like any at all. Like, this is my first time. Like, yeah, I'm a funny dude, and
But you know why that's good? Because niggas underestimate you.
that is
And
good.
you don't do it for the niggas. You do it for the.
Yeah,
do it
facts.
For yourself.
Facts. It's just
You want them to put some.
I just want some respect on my name.
They try to take
Like,
advantage.
be honest.
Just think you Asian and you ain't with the, but you'll pull up on and give her.
Not that explicit, but yeah, like I'm with the pull up, I'm with the pop up, and
Like, don't let the smile fool you. Like,
yeah, and I'm cultured
Yo,
type shit, and I'm
That's
cult-
how you feel?
That's how I feel. Like I'm cultured to the I'm cultured to the game. Like, people try to run game on the gamer.
you're in the game now.
I'm just saying, like, I'm
a long way since when we first met you.
I'm not. I have. And you
Nah,
guys,
man, that nigga said I'm closer to the game, if anything.
that's one thing I'll say that you guys did for me is you kind of unlocked a new character. But like I told you, like before I met you guys, like I've been getting hoes. It's just it wasn't on camera, and like you can't force. That's the big thing about YouTube that you tell me all the time. If you're gonna, even with me as a character, like with anything on YouTube, most people's channels, if they're not like an extravagant personality, is a certain type of niche.
Right.
So me trying to become a vlogger or put more of myself, this is a start, but I can only do it in increments.
Right.
That's just how the game is.
Right.
And a big thing also I want to get out of this mukbang is like the game, the social media game. I'm not making crazy money. I mean, we're not making like crazy
What's
money.
crazy money?
Yeah, because we don't make nothing off YouTube.
Yeah, so what's crazy money?
You told us what you made off our diet.
Yay.
They
They don't. There's levels,
Right.
and I also want to show like I feel like a lot of people have, cause me before I met you guys, I was very like closed-minded. Like, you don't know what you don't know. For example, when we went to No Jumper, and I was like in awe at the office, but you're like, it's just money.
Right.
Like, you could do that, but you just got to make that money.
Right.
And that might go over a lot of people's heads, but it's so true. It's just like you tell me all the time, okay, you have this many followers, but it's how can you monetize those followers? Someone with 1,000 or 10,000 followers could make more money than me, and I've almost 200,000.
Right.
It's just all about how creative you are. People probably don't even know all you guys use is iPhones and an old iPod Touch, and you guys get more. You guys have better videos than a lot of people with professional cameras, but it's what's in here, not what's
So it's
Right
internal,
here.
not external.
right.
Nigga did this. Nigga's a comedian. No, yeah, I see exactly what you're saying. You think that YouTube helped you get a couple, like most don't even know about the YouTube?
Well, like we haven't got from Tinder, just like at the parties and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of them, they see the camera, even if they, a lot of people might think like everyone knows you guys, which a lot of people do, but then there's a good amount of that don't know anything about the minorities.
Right.
It's really just a game you guys got.
Right.
But I think people just are so quick to say, oh, they're famous, that's why they knock so many. Like, I can't do that myself.
A lot of people cope. Yeah. They'll say anything to oh, it's because of this. He did it because of this, or he blah blah blah. Make them feel better when they sleep at night, or when they look themselves in the mirror.
When the reality is like, man, she just me and she chose.
You know what I'm saying? She just chose, and truthfully, she could choose on you too if you had it in you.
I feel like a lot of you guys out there think that it's just so easy to reach out to this basketball player or this person, and the doc can be done just like this. But there's actually a lot of logistical things going on in the background.
It's a lot of hoops you got to go through just to film with one.
Right, that's why I say, I'm sorry, I'm about to say it again. To be in this, if you want to be at the top of the high school basketball, like media or something, you got to suck a lot of.
So you suck.
What does that mean?
No, I didn't, because I'm not. I got high on the ladder.
Because to me, you a big dog in the high school community.
I'm a big dog, but I'm saying if you want to get to the top and do certain things, you got to suck a lot of. You gotta.
What do you mean when you say that?
In a light way, you gotta
like
sucking up, like kissing up, kissing
on people's good side.
Yeah, you got.
But I think a good learning lesson from that too is when you on the bottom of the food chain. The easiest way to climb the ladder of success
is add value.
Is when someone helps pull you up.
Right.
And so if you're kissing the right ass, if you're sucking up to the right person, if you add value to the right person, they can help you get to the next level.
Yeah.
So I think that's something too, as far as like a learning lesson, is not even in a negative way, but just understanding that the greatest way to climb the ladder of success is when people help you up. Understanding how to provide value and who to provide value to, and trying to just provide value to the right people. And so you might not even have to necessarily suck up, but just how can you provide value to this person? You see what I'm saying? Some people do that by trying to suck up and just get on their nice side and giving them compliments. But there's other ways you can provide value to someone who might be in a position of power, and they'll be more likely to help you climb the ladder of success with them.
Right. Say me and this player, he's playing in this tournament. You would think that, oh, okay, I can just walk in there and film. But just to get a media pass, to be in the locker room, this and that, I have to battle with the school that the person goes to. The administration might trip. Then I have to battle the tournament. Oh, you can't go back there. Oh, the game can only be this long. And that's the thing, that's the flip side of filming, say if you've seen me film Bruce, drop him off, or with the minorities, I'm filming them. Like if we're at an event, they will probably have like free reign because they got invited to that event. Like there's no creative handcuffs. And that's one of the biggest things, pet peeves, if you're just a viewer, you don't really like film and stuff, which is a lot of you guys, you might not feel that frustration, but as a camera person, that's the biggest, that hurts the most. That hurts more than not getting views, is when you can't make the video product you want to because someone else is putting constraints on you. For me, that's why I'm kind of stepping back a little bit, because I feel like I used to just look at it pretty pessimistic and be like, oh man, like, why me? Why can't I just have it easy, this and that? But it's like, if I came with $1 million to these tournaments, they'd be like, of course you can film, because they're getting $1 million. So it's just money and value. If I was Bronny's like personal cameraman, like his personal photographer has no limits.
Right.
His photographer probably
has.
has.
Saying as Jared's cameraman, you don't even have those you have limitations still, and you said that?
I have many limitations. I can't go in the locker room. I can't. If I'm going to the locker room, it's because I slithered in there. I'm having to pester this, text this person, that person, or like I'm a grown ass man. Like, come on, bro.
They better let you in.
Like, just let me in the damn locker room. Or
I told you, they almost didn't let us in the game.
I didn't create Jared, obviously not, but by doing the doc,
you basically saying you provide value to this situation and they need to respect it.
Yeah, they need to respect it. But I mean, aside from all that, it's just like that. It just gets tiring over time, and I'm not.
So what's the next step for Nick? Like, what are you trying to say?
What's the solution?
The solution is I'm just gonna do
independence.
I have a couple things lined up.
You don't want to get into
I don't want to get into too much specifics until it comes out, but I got some pretty decent big things big docs lined up. Knock on wood.
We got some big docs lined up.
And so it's just like I just want to focus more on that, but also more on myself. I feel like I am a character, and if you guys don't rock with it, then it is what it is. Like I can go back to Florida and work at Target and go back to school.
Are you talking to us?
He's talking to the fans right
No, I'm talking to fans. And
y'all don't I can go back and do it.
Do you feel like the people outside don't fuck with you?
No, I know they rock with me, but do they want to watch just me? Probably there's another audience I can tap into, but
The people on the minorities, they comment, "Oh, we want to see Nick in more videos."
Yeah, facts. So they might make the jump when they start dropping more vlogs, and then the current people might unsubscribe. But I'm just saying, like, if you don't rock with it, then it's all good. It's no hard feelings. But I'm just telling you what's to come.
Like, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Like, I can always.
They either gonna rock with you,
Yeah.
or you gonna go to Target.
I can always get back in the Hondeezy, get back to the community college. You know what I'm saying? And then drive. Like, I already drove here. I can drive back, and then I got a couple.
So you gonna go all the way to, and you got Bandicoot?
I got a couple benefits. I don't gotta drive back this time. I can ship the car.
Ooh.
So if they don't mess with me, it's all
Why
good.
you gonna go to Florida to hit up Target? We got Target out here.
Oh well. I mean, that's just where.
On Kelly.
This is where I'm from.
We got Target out here though, don't we?
I'm not gonna say the city I'm from.
I think we talked about that before, but I think we talked about it in Vegas how you were like, "Oh, you want to transition slowly into what you genuinely want to do. You want to lay off less of the docs and." You want to be seen more in the camera, basically.
Yeah, and creating.
And you can do that, but you slowly do it.
Right.
Have you been implementing yourself more in Jared's vlogs? Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's a start. You go from 2 minutes. People want to see more of you. Now you go to 5, then you go to 10. But don't just all of a sudden drop a 40-minute video of just Nick in the cut.
Unless it's fire. Because fire is fire regardless.
Fire is fire. You told me all the time. Good content is good content. The best thing, being around you guys and all the other content creators is seeing just like freedom.
You didn't know what that shit looked like, huh?
I didn't know what that shit looked like or felt like because I'm always on other people's time.
Yeah, it's one of the greatest feelings. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's crazy. I'm not gonna hold it. It's like living a real life dream.
But yeah, back to some players of you feel me, these hoes. It's like, what you feel like?
Yeah, that never tapped in. Side note.
What you feel like? You feel me? The lifestyle, not the Playboy lifestyle. Not necessarily just you a Playboy rock star about type, but it's like, come on, bro, you going on different dates with bitches around the world. You getting sucked up from stars. It's like, tell me about your reality now. Like, if you saw, let's just say, who's a girl? Who's like a famous IG?
I'll tell you this. I feel like a lot of bad that I thought were out of reach. Mm-hmm. I feel like I can get those.
Like if you were to
I can't get, like you told me, despite what people think, reality, you're not going to be what a lot of people I think don't understand, and I didn't for a long time, and I would get like, oh, she rejected me, is you're not going to be every cup of tea. Mm-hmm. Like, have types. Mm-hmm. That's just how it is. But just a bitch that's known as a bad bitch, I feel like I could get that.
Like if you just see it walking.
You could get a bad bitch.
Yeah, because I feel like I'm not even at my...
You've been going on hella dates. You want to talk on that?
Yeah,
I wouldn't call those dates.
Link ups?
Bust downs?
Bust downs.
Like, you've done crazy numbers. You've done more than me and Jay combined.
Yeah, but...
And like, this is crazy.
Those are, to be honest, those are like 5s and 6s and couple 4s.
I told you, this is G League. You ain't in the NBA yet, but you putting up numbers in the G League. So let's just, to give the people a reference, he linked up with 9 in 3 days. That is insane. 9 in 3 days?
I had to train for Kazumi.
Right.
I had to be prepared.
Did a whole lot of training. That's intense.
Mm-hmm. 9 bitches, 3 days, that's a lot.
That's a lot. I'm not going to lie to you. How do you fit these in the schedule? It's like morning, breakfast, lunch, or morning, lunch, dinner?
It was like 2, 2, 3.
2 o'clock?
Is that a defense? 2, 2, 3?
2, 3, 3. 1 day, 3 another day, 3 another day.
Oh. So you space them out. Okay.
Mm.
That's still a lot though, 3 in 1 day. Is you hanging out with like during the day, or is you just back to back to back at night? You get what I'm saying?
Pull out. It was 9 different, so they had 9 different situations. One had an apartment, one had no apartment, one had an apartment with roommates, one just had a house.
Right.
So that gave you a lot of good learning lessons on how to go about different situations.
Right.
Indeed.
That's
Those were
good.
9 different types of personalities and just 9 different, completely different situations.
In all these
But-
different situations, you learn what type of woman you're compatible with.
Indeed.
And what's that?
Just some they got some shit going on. Not a, but it's
gotta have her
like,
own-
you know, being young, most they don't have their own spot. You know, in California, rent's expensive, so she might go to UCLA, but she might still stay at home.
She might have a roommate with 3 other friends.
She might have
and all of them are, but she's saying she's a good girl.
Right.
One thing on this journey it's like you see the world for, you know, it might just be, but you see like the world for what it is. Because in between the there's, you know, different learning experiences with you guys, just different situations. You're learning different people personalities. Like say even at that party when this one dude was pressing us because he was hella drunk, and it's like you learn how to deal with that situation. You don't fight fire with fire. You just remain cool. So nothing. Not that we were getting up, but it's just, or even when the girl slapped the phone out of your hand, it's like you learn that in high pressure situations, all you can do is remain calm. That's how a lot of rich, successful people are, is, and they can handle a lot of stress at one time. That's what I realized.
Yeah. High stress situation.
And another thing I realized on the journey, of course, because we're filming and doing all this stuff, is like what you guys said. The power or people are your greatest asset. Like when we're going to the dorms, you need a key to get on this level. You have to get past the guard. You have to do this. And people got to mess with you in the interviews. So one thing I've noticed that you guys are really strong is dealing with people and just knowing how to deal with like 25 different types of people.
Yeah.
They could be quiet, but you know how to deal with that. They could be this way, but you guys just know how to talk to everyone. It could be the 70-year-old grandma, or it could be the 21-year-old.
Right.
Absolutely.
There's anything eye-opening you that your perspective has changed when it comes to girls?
I'd say the biggest thing you guys taught me, when you choose a girl who chooses you, all the lessons you gave me, not that they don't mean anything, but it's like they kind of go out the window because you don't have any problems. When a girl chooses on you, then you don't have to worry, oh, why didn't she text me back? What do I do when she does this? None of that happens because she's interested in you. But remember that statement you made on No Jumper? How you're like, oh, well, of course we want to get bigger, but we don't want to get lost in the sauce.
Meaning, you know, we don't want to just like, I feel like
Like, do you feel like you know what it takes to get to like 10, 20 million subscribers? Because you guys would have been at 1 million, but maybe a lot of people don't know out there that your channel got deleted and stuff.
I mean, yeah, know what it takes. If we could produce these videos on a weekly basis, yeah, we probably would be at 2 million right now. And then if we could produce the videos in every 3 or 4 days, we might be at 5 million. But I mean, the reality is we live in our reality, and I feel like the whole getting lost in the sauce is to me personally, I feel like we have like high integrity, like we have our own morals, and the getting the lost in the sauce is like almost like you don't stand on business. You feel me? It's it's really just like a multitude of things. Like morale, integrity is like you gotta have good business. Like, would you do a great business opportunity with somebody that has low integrity? Meaning he can give you like a very good situation. He might be able to change your life, but you know he has low integrity. He might not have the highest morals. He might be a liar. He might be, you feel me? He might cheat you over. Would you still put your life on the line and still do that deal with him? Like, would you leave your situation to go into a better situation with a low integrity person?
No.
I mean, you say no, but it's like, hey, bro, you're going to be my all-time cameraman and I'm going to pay you $1 million.
I would tell you I wouldn't do that. I would
$1
never.
million a week.
If I didn't feel like it was
$1
fun,
million a week, Nick. Come
If
on, let's
I
not even
feel-
talk about it.
Jay, but
But
You-
I can't do what
you
I
know-
want to do. Yeah, most people who make that kind of money don't either.
correct.
Yeah.
But like I'm not gonna say I got that opportunity already, but I've been offered some big
you've been offered
big
some
money.
chicken. You've been offered some chicken.
Chicken.
And do you feel like you wouldn't do those deals because maybe they don't match your integrity or whatever that it is that you believe in?
Correct. Do you feel that it's easy to get lost in sauce, and a lot of young dudes out there, teenagers, people still in college, starting college, that they chase women too much?
Well, the two main things that men naturally chase is naturally women, and then when responsibilities kick in, money. So around 18, 19, your parents is maybe pushing the issue. Hey, you need to start paying rent around here. Okay, so now I got to go get a job. But the chasing
This thing that's just like, it's damn near embedded in you as a man to just want to go pop at something, no matter what age you are. Yeah. But there has to be, there comes a switch once you realize that, damn, chasing gets me nowhere but an empty nut. That's all you have. When you chase that's all you end up with is an empty nut. Like your nuts are empty. So, you feel me? When you chasing the bag, you realize, oh,
it's like the bag. They also like me. So you feel me? I got the 2-piece combo. Okay, now she like me. She like the way I dress. That comes from the money. She like the way I talk. That's just naturally me. So it's like the game just becomes so much easier.
One thing I learned from you guys, one of your pillars, I'm not gonna say it's the biggest one, is when you can't get something or you're wondering, oh, why isn't this happening, or why isn't this choose on me, or why can't I do this situation? You guys always go back to just improve instead of trying to
Look externally.
look externally, look
Improve
internally,
internally.
and instead of trying to get the to chase you, why don't you figure out how to get the to chase you instead of you trying to chase the
Mm-hmm. When you have that going on, oh man, like the whole chasing, you conquered that. Once bitches are coming to you, now you get to focus on the other shit.
A lot of people, there's the analogy we've used before, but like they're trying to fill their cup. They're chasing validation. You know what I mean? So it's like in their circle, they're you get a pat on the back the more bitches you get, the more money you have, the nicer clothes you have. So a lot of times people are chasing external things really to fill themselves internally, because in their circle they'll get more respected and more this once they have these things. But going back to like what Jay was saying with us is like, when you're internally fulfilled, you're not chasing nothing externally. You know what I mean? So you're not compromising your values for this, or you're not compromising this, that, and the third for anything external. It's like, if it comes, it comes. If it don't, I'm good regardless. You know what I mean?
And that's one thing that, like with us, I mean, we don't dress the flashiest.
You guys have never wore like one piece of designer or anything nice.
Yeah, so we what I feel is some people, not all people, but some people, when they buy the Gucci, the other name brands, they feel like their value now because they hold so much value in these other entities. But really, they don't have no true value within themselves. It's like our true value is ourselves. We're more valuable. Like, I feel like I'm more valuable than Gucci. Maybe I don't feel, maybe somebody else doesn't feel like that, but my value is worth more than Gucci, so I don't need to put it on. I could wear sweats and sweaters every single day, and the world, maybe even not the world, but I feel valuable to myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not even about...
It's in me, not on me.
Absolutely. So it's like... But I also... Like, I like to prove people. Like, I wanted to prove my parents, like, oh, I made it. I did something with myself. You feel me? So there ain't nothing wrong with, like, proving... In a sense, you don't want your life to revolve around proving yourself to other people.
Right.
But I get a sense of gratification proven to, like, mainly my parents. Like, oh, hey, I made it. I did good. You feel me? You don't got to trip off me. I can get y'all whatever y'all want now. And in that type of sense. But self-gratitude, self-validation, that's really where the true freedom comes in. Because some people, they make millions, but they feel trapped inside. They feel empty inside. Maybe it's because of lack of love for themselves. Maybe they look for outside entities to give them love and they don't get it, or they don't get it in the way that they want. But the real true root of it is you have to find self-love. That's the most important thing. I can't love somebody unless I love myself first. The right way. The right way. That's why I tell you, you need to love yourself before you love me.
You have told me like it's important to... Like, I remember I told you, were like, what do you look for in a girl? And I was like, oh, I want her to be cultured. I want her to know all these. I want her to...
The conversation we had in Vegas,
And I was like,
I feel like you were wrong about that.
I was when I thought about it. I was like, oh, I want her to know like the terms of like. I just off the top of my head, I was like Riz, or I want her to know like.
What's good in the hip hop community?
Yeah.
You want her to be cultured?
Yeah.
You don't need it. That's not
And
to say
then-
that that's the wrong culture. Not to say that it's the wrong one, but that's a destructive culture. All that knowing all like slang terms and
Yeah.
it's like
I like out the way.
it's just a culture for destruction. Everybody going against each other. Everybody down each other. Like there's no love, no true love in that. For real, bro. I'm drinking this cup. But come on, man.
Think about that. Talk that Jay.
Really think about that.
Speaking on that whole the Gucci, the name brand, all these people are humans. Like Gucci was a person. Louis
Yeah.
Vuitton was a human.
Yeah.
So it's like your name is bigger than them. You get what I'm saying?
I heard Ocho Cinco talk about something like that.
Yeah, I'm sure he said something like that too. But it's like
I didn't know what it meant at first, but then
yeah.
yeah.
But that kind of also goes on when we be like, most people do that to distinguish themselves, to get
Right.
attention. It's ultimately for attention, but if you already get attention, then it's pointless. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, with that hip hop, what was the debate y'all had in Vegas? You said you want to grow culture, and you said she shouldn't be cultured.
Jay was like, "Oh, so what kind of
I
like,
asked him what type of girl do you want?
Yeah, and then
And
I
you
was
want a bitch that talks in slang, shit like that?
just understands it, knows about it, and he's like, you might not want that because that means she's been around
Other
certain
people, types of people.
certain situations and stuff. That's the only way she'd learn about that.
Yeah.
She hung with a lot of dudes, and then she's like, if she knows how to play video games, obviously, like probably she's good, a dude taught her.
Yeah.
And it's like I was like, oh.
You want to ran through girls, essentially what you was talking
I didn't think of it though.
Oh, my bitch
It
ran.
sounded what it sounded like was you want a girl to be like your homeboy, and those are you gotta know. Not to say that y'all can't be friends, friendly, but a girl and a guy are two different things. I don't want my girl to act like my homeboys.
Right.
Yeah.
I want my lady to act like a lady.
I just personally don't relate. So I understand like certain people, like I get it. There's certain bitches making $500,000 a year, or not a year, $500,000 a month on OnlyFans. I understand the logic of like you're changing your life by doing this. I get it. You value the money more than the image you're putting out and maybe the way that this can affect your legacy, your children, and blah blah blah. To me, I value that shit more than the money. So I value more than the money. I would never want my girl or someone I fuck with posting this, or me posting my, you know what I mean, doing certain crazy shit. Like, it just depends on what it is you personally value.
Yeah.
So it's like most people, they value the this and that, and especially if it comes from a position of need, like, oh, I need money, oh, I need this, then it's like there's a spirit of desperation in the air, and they get desperate, start doing crazy shit.
Crazy.
But it just depends on what you value. You know what I mean? And also another very, very good thing with us is like when you're in a position to where you don't, going back to the desperation or the need, when you don't need money, there's not a stress. So it's not like that's another reason as far as, oh, why videos take a little longer. There's not a stress of, oh, I got to pay rent. We're in a good place. You know what I mean? So that's also a real blessing because we don't have to trip. Earlier in our careers, we used to have regular jobs and shit. But just being in a position where you don't need it, and even with the jobs, it put us in a position where we never needed money because that was taken care of. So we just have fun with this shit and hope it gets somewhere. And it got us somewhere.
And that's also one thing, like even when sometimes like I told, oh yeah, we had a regular job, you feel me, regular 9 to 5, and they're like, for real? Like
and you guys had that for longer than people knew.
No, yeah, they're shocked that, damn, they work 9 to 5 jobs, did the whole YouTube thing. And some people it's about the money, and sometimes it's like the fame of it, the recognition that they get when they go down the street, and it's like that shit is cool. But it like say if the internet were to break down today, I could go back to getting a regular 9 to 5 job and be happy with myself still. I'll still be able to protect and provide for my family, and it's like it's not going to make or break me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the money is a lot of people chase money, but you really just got to do what you want to. You got to do what makes you happy and have some, you feel me, some integrity about it. Don't break your moral code for the bad. But it's like do something that you're not hurting nobody. Morally, it's right, and it'll come with it. That's like the best thing. When we make these videos, really, I'm just excited to link up with and you feel me? We just kicking it, really. We really just kicking it. We gonna set up videos and all this, but we gonna talk our shit like we did 5 years ago when we was in high school. It's like the same shit. It's almost like, not to say that we're kids because we got adult responsibilities, but it's like, it gives you that childish,
childhood joy.
That childhood joy of, like I said, we have responsibilities, but we can take care of our responsibilities with no problem. So you still get that freedom and that gratification of like when you were a child and it's like, oh, I get to go outside and play today. That's our plan, doing these videos. We get to go outside and play. Majority of America, majority of the world don't get to go outside and play.
Facts.
So we definitely, we beat the system in terms of that. We pimped the situation.
Pimping.
You know what I'm saying? Some good pimping.
That was one of the biggest. That's the first lesson I got.
Another thing too is like when you got it, there's not a need to show it or like try to prove it.
I used to hear that all the time, but not that you guys got it, but meeting you guys, it kind of resembled that quote, like, or not a quote, but statement, like, rich people never show they're rich. It's always, it's like this is a quote, change is loud, but bills are silent.
I like that. Because when you shake the change is loud. I like
change is loud, bills are silent.
I like that.
It's like,
I like that.
Normally people you see, like, you know, showing a lot of money or showing this, showing that. Like, Bill Gates probably doesn't post all that on Instagram, but he's one of the richest. Warren Buffett, Elon Musk. I mean, he might show his rocket, but he's not out here buying like designer and stuff.
It goes back to when we was talking about conveying value, when you have perceived value, like
right. That's a big one.
It's also just different. Like, yeah, like I'm not opposed to buying nice shit. I'm not like trying to advocate this and not.
Yeah.
Presentation matters, you know what I mean? But we already have it. When you have the perceived value, you don't have to convey value. You could, but you already had, like Bill Gates, we know you got it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But just a regular average dude who goes to the club tonight or whatever this weekend, he don't got it. He don't have the perceived value. He doesn't walk into a room and people go, ooh. So he has to try to convey it by wearing the nice shit, or doing the certain shit, or just he has to be loud to be seen. But when you're already seen, you don't got to be loud. That's one thing I do be trying to tell you, like, or at least I advise is like, I'm not opposed to, don't necessarily run with what we do, because you also got to think of where you are on the food chain. Like, when you a foot soldier, you got to move a little different compared to when you up here as a general. And so sometimes people might see certain shit, oh, I'm going to just go dress bummy. And it's like, it's in your best interest to wear some nice shit. I mean, it got to be in you, you know what I mean, before it's on you. But it just depends on where you are on the food chain.
One thing I want to touch on that, because, not to cut you off, but you said that in several podcasts. It was crazy. You can keep saying it, but sometimes it takes a long time.
They're not going to digest it. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
But one thing about, you know, I'm not a general. I'd still consider myself a foot soldier, but I think for the camera people, or even just people in general, I feel like doing free videos and not doing free videos.
Like mixtapes or something?
Mixtapes, music videos.
My front door was unlocked. Oh, excuse my language. My front door was unlocked, bro. That's crazy, Nick.
I wasn't the... All right, that is on me.
He tried to buy... That was on me.
That's crazy, Nick. My family almost just got murdered just now. That's something I got to live in forever.
You just got to take accountability, Nick.
I was just going to say I didn't go through the front, but...
You left through the front?
I didn't leave through the front. I left through the garage.
So how the front? Did you go out through the front?
That's the only way I could get out.
A lot of camera people, they're really opposed to doing free videos. And I feel like because they think they're up here.
Right.
I still do free videos. I mean, not that much. But, and I still feel like I'm here. Like, I mean, maybe I'm not, maybe I am. But all in all, it's like, I feel a lot of people aren't real with themselves. And if you don't do a free video and it's a good situation, everyone's like, oh, I got to get paid. Then you're only going to get paid within that range because you've only worked with those people. And I've tried to put a lot of camera people on, oh, do this little editing thing for me, and then I'm going to look out. Like if I get to know you and then you do a good job on this, if a big person I work with, like there's a lot of people I've worked with that I haven't posted. I haven't, you just might not know, but I could give you that job, but I'm just going to see how you move. And then 10 times out of 10, all the camera people I tried to work with,
They're more worried about that bag.
they're worried about the little cheese. And it's like,
That little cheese. I'm glad you said little, because the cheese is so little. That's so small.
I'm just being real. Like, to
That
me,
little cheese.
to me, a rack, that's
That's little cheese.
That's little cheese.
It is
A
little
million
cheese.
is a little cheese.
No,
like, never
nah.
put value on the brand.
Nah.
See,
See,
so
but-
there's a number. So it ain't. It ain't.
We
about
gotta
the little
let
bitty
some people don't understand
No,
all
but
that.
you gotta understand, relative to you, that cheese is small.
It's small.
If I gave you $1 million, but I took away your health,
Oh.
do you value it?
No.
So your health is more important than the bag. You know what I'm saying? If I
Indeed.
took away your whole family, your family's more important than the bag. It's the mentality of like, bro, you gotta be big, you gotta be a giant. All that shit is small. It don't matter if it was $1 million. It's still small.
It's small, but what I'm trying to say is a big mistake that camera people that are making. This is just my opinion, but I mean, a lot of people ask me how do you get here, and there, and I feel like there's only so many big cameramen and cameramen that work with this person, that person. If you ask them, a lot of the videos they did working with that dream person that another cameraman might think, a lot of that work was for free. All the, no, I'm not gonna say that.
But see, the thing is like the camera work, editing, blah blah blah, all these different forms of things that you could do for somebody. That's a service. I believe you pay for a service. So if I ask somebody, hey, can you record for me? I'm not saying, oh yeah, but I'm not gonna pay you. No, tell me what your fee is, and I'm gonna pay. But I understand if it's a dream, like let's say for example, if John Morant said, hey, I want you to be my cameraman, you're not gonna say, okay, but I need $5,000 when I come down and film you. No, you're gonna take the opportunity. It's a good opportunity. You both win. You might win more than he wins.
But that's the thing. A lot of people only look at cheese as a form of transaction, but value can be in other ways. Yeah. And yeah, a lot of like camera people made shirts on this, like, oh, I don't want to be paid in exposure. But this is the thing,
That's a saying. I don't want to be paid in exposure.
Yeah, that's a camera people saying.
If I can't count it, it don't count, Nick. And you gotta respect
it
that.
It just depends on what it is they value.
I respect it.
Like
but,
exposure sometimes don't pay the bills for some people.
It doesn't. But the thing is, if you do that video, a month down the line, it's gonna pay.
I got bills now, Nick.
Well, then you're not ready to be a full-time cameraman. Because the only way to make it as a full-time cameraman, you gotta really grind. And you gotta be actually good.
Does that mean not getting paid?
If you're not getting paid, then you're not good enough yet. That's what I'm gonna leave it at. That's actually what I was trying to get at. If you're having to ask for the money and they don't respect you enough to pay, then you're just not good enough yet.
Speaks volumes.
It does. That's what I learned. If you're not getting the money you want, then you must not deserve it. And maybe you do, but guess what? You still got to get better because the market says you're not.
The market. Oh,
the market.
That's a great point. The market decides your value.
A lot of people, they want to do this, they want to do that, they want to be a vlogger, they want to be a TikToker, but if you're not getting those views and only you think it's raw, then either keep doing it and get another job, or you're gonna have to find another thing.
They say this is like the number one the number one most desired profession nowadays is like
YouTuber.
Everybody want to be a YouTuber. My little cousins want to be a YouTuber. You know
That's
what I'm
lit.
saying? Everybody want to be a YouTuber.
It's the best job in the world. You know, I'm one type of YouTuber. You guys are another type. Streamers, athletes, cooks, they're all different types of YouTubers, but I feel like you guys and the streamers and people just in pure content creation just with themselves, that's the coolest thing to see is the amount of freedom and joy that you guys have. Being able to see how you guys live and really like you guys, not that you don't have to answer to nobody, but I mean you basically don't have to answer to nobody.
Yeah.
And that's just crazy to see.
We don't got to answer nobody, but we also got to take care of business.
You do.
Stand on business.
And business didn't get taken care of today.
And this is what happens when you have to deal with outside entities. We have to rely on them to pull up.
Right.
Do you feel like some of the people like you came up with, maybe family members, like they don't understand like how the fuck can Nick do something and he can like support himself by doing something that's like, they kind of don't even understand it.
They
like,
look at it as juvenile.
It's like, oh, you tell your mom that you want to be, you tell your parents you want to be a YouTuber. Like, what? What are you talking about?
I mean, we're gonna keep it 1,000 on this Mukbang podcast.
1,001.
I really don't have a family.
What?
Just being real.
You don't got a family?
Christmas, every
died?
no, we're just not cool like that because of this camera stuff.
That messed up the family dynamic.
They didn't want you to do it?
I mean, they didn't really want me to do it. They didn't really do anything about it, but it was always just backlash. Every time I walk in the house, oh, you made some money? No. Well, when are you gonna get a job? Why'd you quit McDonald's? And then now
They wanted you to be a doctor, huh?
wanted me to be some type of doctor, medical engineer, something that Asian people always want Asian people to be. And it's like now,
Can you see from their perspective why they
no.
want that?
As I got older, I can see, you know, not to be on some cheesy that people always say, oh, as I got older. With age comes more knowledge, so I understand where they were coming from, but long story short, where I didn't like it is when, if I were to go to physical therapy school, I was about to be a doctor of physical therapy. They said, I was like, what if I get into USC? What if I get into Florida? The tuition is like 30 racks for 1 year, right? Plus the living. They're like, oh, we'll take out loans, this and that. And I tested them before I went to start going to LA a lot. I had all the money I needed to like pay for Airbnbs and shit, but I tested them one last time before I left. I was like, dang, you guys think you can help me out like $500 for 3 months, $250? And they're like, no, we can't.
You should get some of these brownies. See what that shit talking about at this point.
I could do that. I
need-
Appreciate you guys watching the whole thing if you did, and comment on who you want me to do next, or if you even want another mukbang.
We should comment who we think you should do next.
Okay.
I got baby look like Nike on me, heavy honey. Got this chain that look like water on